After a very long holiday week, I am finally back and I have a flood of videos to make. Darkest Hour is directed by Joe Wright and stars Gary Oldman, and this is the true story of Winston Churchill as he's thrust into the Prime Minister position during the darkest days of World War II. Dunkirk soldiers are trapped and Hitler's, going hard and doing what he's doing, and Winston Churchill is just sort of shoved into this position of power that he doesn't necessarily want to be in. This is a position that he's wanted for years, but under these circumstances it's a difficult position and almost set up for failure. Now, this story was fascinating to me because I wasn't necessarily excited for this movie. I really didn't. I thought this movie looked like a little bit like it would be boring, or that I wouldn't really get caught up in the story, because I usually with these movies I'm like, yeah, this is really good and the performances are great, but I'm kind of bored. This movie does suffer from that sometimes. It does get a little bit slow toward the middle and by the end, but I gotta say I really enjoyed Darkest Hour, and I thought it was pretty amazing, actually. Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill, he disappears into this role. You can't even tell it's him at points. I didn't even realize it was him until doing research for the movie afterwards and, discovering, wow, that was the same guy who was in the Dark Knight trilogy. Like, that's amazing to me. He's so good here. Supporting players are also really good here. I really like Ben Mendelsohn. I really like Lily James, and I really liked the woman who played Winston Churchill's wife. I'm not familiar. I don't really know her name off the top of my head. And I loved Stannis Baratheon in this movie. He was so good in this. I don't know the actor's name, but he was fantastic here. I really liked his sort of like douchebag outlook on Winston Churchill. And it's really fascinating, this true story, because it's interesting to really think like, wow, they were about to negotiate with Hitler and sort of set peace treaties up. That's insane to me. I can't believe that was actually an option at one point, and it was pretty awesome to learn about that, because I didn't know that was a thing, and I didn't realize that Winston Churchill was considering two different options. One that would hopefully be peaceful but also kind of in a state of weakening your whole country, and also risking it all and going with what you have and sort of beating the odds. And I loved that. One major thing that I have to say is Dunkirk, which Christopher Nolan's movie from earlier this year, makes this movie a lot better in my opinion. I thought Dunkirk really set this movie up beautifully, because you really get the full scope and feel of what was going on in Dunkirk in this movie because of the Dunkirk movie, and it makes the ending of Dunkirk that much better, because you realize, wow, Winston Churchill fought really hard to get these guys out, and these movies both complement each other very well, and I think it's going to make a great double feature once they're both released on Blu-ray and everything. I think that's going to be a really cool double feature to watch. So overall, I would say the performance of Gary Oldman in this movie might actually be better than the whole movie as a whole, but the movie as a whole is pretty damn good too. I really love Darkest Hour. It's definitely one of the better movies this year, and it's got probably the best performance I've seen all year in this movie. I really thought Gary Oldman was spectacular in the movie, and I can definitely see him winning the Oscar. So what did you guys think of Darkest Hour? Be sure to comment down below and let me know. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was boring? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.